Drink Cinema. Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are 2 out of 3 brothers reviewing movies 2 drinks at a time. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lou. How are you?
Good. Yeah.
You're a fake and a phony, and I wish I'd never laid eyes on you. Sorry. I'm not making fun of Olivia. It's just jarring.
Everything's just so different here.
Maybe dances are different from back home.
No, the first scene when she's walking into school with Frenchie, her accent is like, oh. Yeah. It's almost as bad as hers in The Good Place.
Oh, Olivia Newton-John
Not Olivia
is in The Good
Newton-John's in
Place.
The Good Place.
Anyway,
the bad
not every episode has to have a Good Place reference.
I'm obsessed.
Oh, tell me about it, stud.
All right.
Anyway, God, that was bad.
That is not the tagline for this movie. The movie we are reviewing is Grease, in case you hadn't worked that out. The tagline for the movie Grease is the word. And I'm not really up with the 1950s, but I'm just wondering if Grease was a word in the 50s.
I thought the bird was the word. Surfing bird. Anyway, that can be played at my funeral.
Grease is the word.
Grease is the word that you heard.
What is the drink to go with the word?
This is a drink that is a pink lady.
Not quite.
But not really. It's a bit
already-
more.
it's
a bit more. So it's not.
It's not.
That line. Gin, Cointreau, lemon gin, Cointreau.
Okay, so it's going to take.
Grenadine. A martini for a while.
No. So it's a pink lady's martini. How could we make it pinker?
Milk.
You know what's not in it? Maraschino, like the cherry.
Oh.
Cheers.
That's nice.
Well done on halving the amount of grenadine
Yeah, I
that's in
didn't
the
halve it.
recipe.
I put less in because I'm like, that's just going to look too red. It still looks too red. But that's good. When we have our bar, that's going on the list.
What can we put in to make it pink? You'd have to put
put milk or cream in
cream.
it.
Yeah, we don't do creamy cocktails.
Ooh, that's got a kick.
I like the
Because
Cointreau.
what I did was I put less grenadine in than the Google said, and then I put more lemon juice, less Cointreau. So I flipped them.
This is good.
Yep.
Yeah. When we have our
Oh,
cocktail
good, because
party,
I was like, I can't have 3 bad ones in a row.
you were due for a good one.
Oh.
When we have our cocktail party at Superbia Bar, we'll get Mon to make this.
And if you get it for free, if you can sing "We Belong Together,"
We go together.
we belong together. No, I meant the Mariah Carey song.
When I used to be a primary music teacher, I got the students to sing "We Go Together."
We go together like shoo-up, shoo-a-doo-a-doo, diddly-dim-di-boom. Anyway,
I spent a lot of time teaching them the shoo-up, shoo-a-doo-a-doo, yippity-boom-da-boom.
Mister,
What is
what is a chang-chang shibop?
And
What does bibbidi-bibbidi shoo-up, shoo-bidi-boom mean?
I don't know, but they go together.
They go together. See how easy it was to sing?
We go together like shoo-up, shoo-a-doo-a-doo, yippity-boom-da-boom.
Yeah.
They just do.
Yeah. Speaking of words,
Grease is the word.
Grease is the word.
You know what?
who
That opening.
hasn't seen? Have you ever met a person that hasn't seen Grease?
No.
There you go.
This is weird when we classify it into our YouTube playlists. Like, do we put it as classic or put it as nostalgic? Because I
both.
reckon everyone has nostalgia for this movie because they first watched it when they were far too young to watch some of the scenes that are in this movie.
Yep. And probably
so,
some of the lyrics in certain songs went over their head.
hopefully,
Because there were some that I definitely missed.
yeah. There's a couple of lines that I just learnt this, I just heard and learnt about this watching.
Yeah, was it during a song?
There were a couple during a song. There was one that is going to be nominated for Worst Line.
Okay.
Later.
Cool.
The opening is daggy.
I don't like it.
Can we just skip to the credits? Like the song.
I don't like the song, especially when it flashes with a swastika on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. saying it now, it hasn't aged well.
Okay, good.
Okay.
We can all agree.
No, but the actual opening that everyone always forgets about, the scene
Oh,
on the
the
beach.
sex on the beach, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to go back to Australia.
Have to go back to Australia. And he's like, well, let me root you before you go. I just learnt the word root because you're Australian.
Yeah.
But no, because she's too pure to be pink.
Yep. Oh.
But that scene does give us a line. Danny says it's only the beginning, which adds a little bit to Sandy having her hopes up.
Is this the end?
Yeah. It adds a bit to Sandy having her hopes up that Danny actually likes her and wasn't just trying to have sex.
Yep.
Then we get the actual opening, which is the song, which is what people remember from the opening of Grease.
Yep.
Could they... This is a big budget film, I imagine.
Yeah.
A reasonably budgeted film.
Yep.
Right? Could they have just spent a little bit more on a cartoonist?
I tell you who really wanted more money spent on better cartoons.
Stockard Channing.
Stockard Channing.
Oh,
The budget was $6 million.
as the internet says, they did her dirty.
They did her... You know what? As my notes say, they did Stockard dirty with that cartoon affair.
They did. Kinnicky
She's
doesn't
like-
look great. Yeah, it's weird.
She looks like she sucked a lemon. Yeah, $6 million budget. So not that much.
All right for the time. But that opening, despite the swastika, does a good job of introducing the time period and of introducing the characters. It has the contrast of Rizzo doing Rizzo things and Sandy having the little bluebirds flying around her as being the nice girl. Then I've just written the word outside in my notes, and I feel like that should have been a full sentence.
Is it because it was like the outside of the school looks a lot nicer than the inside? When it goes cartoon drawing and then transitions to the actual school?
I think it was outside the school, a lot is happening, and then I moved further down my notes to write things about extras.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a little bit of a forward sell for people. Make sure you listen to the whole episode for our awards. Sandy's first few lines, her first couple to Danny at the beach and her first couple to Sandy, make me understand why for years we have had terrible Australian accents portrayed by American actors in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because they think we all actually sound like Olivia Newton-John at the start of Grease.
Well, that's how she sounds.
I feel
her
like
voice.
she's a little bit more. She's a little bit
Yeah,
exaggerated.
maybe. I think it just sounds jarring, like by comparison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we then get introduced. We get introduced to the characters in the song, and we get introduced to them as they rock up to school that day. We get the boys and Kinnicky, and then we get Danny, who we automatically think is not the nice guy from the beach.
Yep.
Then we get Frenchie and Sandy, and then we get the Pink Ladies, and then we get the closet lesbian mechanics teacher and the principal.
Yeah.
And I didn't just make that as a broad generalizing statement. I have evidence to back that up a little bit later in the movie.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yep.
How many days till Christmas vacation is very realistic for a teacher.
86.
It's November. Every teacher is asking that question right now.
Yep.
Someone says, oh no, when the Pink Ladies get there, they say, and now we're seniors, which is good to establish that they're not staff at the school.
That is good because they're about the same age as the staff.
They look old.
I have a question. Who do you think's older? Sonny or the principal?
I looked at that scene and I was like, are they both about to go into the staff room for a cigarette? Like,
Sonny, they all look too old.
yeah.
But Sonny and Rizzo are the worst. Sonny
I'll give you my
has
top three oldest.
permanent 5 o'clock shadow and is balding.
My top three oldest, right?
Yeah,
Sonny, the Scorpion driver,
Oh,
and Cha Cha Di
fucking-
Gregorio.
The Scorpion driver. I was like, is he meant to be the same age, or is he meant to be like
one of those
former student that's just hung around town that doesn't have a job. Crater Face is a good nickname as well.
It's not nice.
It's not nice, but it's accurate.
This article, oddly, on Business Insider,
Okay.
he and Cha-Cha Di Gregorio are both meant to be 18. His name's Leo. So Leo Balmudo, the leader of the T-Birds' rival gang, the Scorpions, was also 17 or 18. He attended St. Bernadette. I don't think he was a dropout.
St. Bernadette's is a
The article
girls'
says
school, sure.
Leo wasn't a Rydell student, so he either attended St. Bernadette's with his girlfriend Cha-Cha or was a dropout. He was a dropout. He was played by Dennis Stewart, who turned 30 while filming Grease.
Oh, that's so not the oldest.
Leo's girlfriend, Charlene Cha-Cha Di Gregorio, is also 17 or 18 in the movie. Actress Annette Charles was 29 at the time. So Sonny and Stockhard were the oldest, but looking the oldest was Sonny, Scorpions, and Cha-Cha, I reckon.
Yeah.
They look older than Stockhard, Channing, than Rizzo.
Yeah.
Although,
you know what? I think she almost had a geriatric pregnancy. That's how, it's ridiculous. And
what, you think maybe she skipped her period because she was going through menopause?
Yes, yeah.
Although, the shop teacher does say, Kanicki's been here longer than I have. So maybe
That's how I would have sold it.
Maybe he's just repeated that many times.
I'm not surprised. They failed gym. Who fails gym?
Yeah, even we got A+ in gym.
Yeah, well.
PE. Yeah. If you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter. The principal has some great dry humour lines.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And then it doesn't wait before being completely vulgar. The boys outside the school talk about whether or not this girl at the beach that Danny met puts out. Rizzo's fourth line is, here's Paddy Simcox, the backseat of Rydell High.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't...
the backseat.
Yeah, which I hadn't realised that's what she said until this watching.
I thought she said bad seed.
No, the backseat. Because Paddy also is throwing herself at Danny through the whole movie in the background.
Well...
Yeah.
What's her name?
Paddy Simcox, the backseat of Rydell High.
Hi.
So, the movie as a story, I quite like. The point of the story is the teen angst in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it does that very well with an ensemble of characters, all kind of representing their different things. So we get Rizzo is being a bitch. Marty is trying to act mature. Jan hasn't grown up yet.
Yep.
Frenchie doesn't know what to do with their life.
Yep.
The boys at the end of the movie get to the end of the movie and they don't know what to do with their life because Danny's going off somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they've got no one to follow.
He's going to space.
Yeah. And Danny and Sandy have to decide whether to be themselves or be in love.
Yeah.
So it covers kind of all of those, covers all of those teen angst moments set in a filthy musical.
Filthy, filthy, filthy.
And once we get to the school, the story just kind of trucks along through the stuff that happens. Mm-hmm. It's quite a quick semester. It's 86 days, this movie.
Well, is it?
Yeah, because commencement commences at the end of the movie.
But that's when they graduate.
Yeah.
In the summer.
Yeah, so is it a year or a semester?
Well, I think it's a year. Because they get their yearbook at the end and they graduate and then fly off into the sky.
We don't get the obligatory Christmas scene,
No.
though.
No.
We don't get any coldness, so it must be in California.
Well, I had no bloody idea where it was. I thought it was in New York.
It's not in New York.
Because they all sound like potentially from New York.
Should I look it up?
Well, and then I thought it was Los Angeles, and then I thought it was wherever Terminator 2 was set, because I think that's where they use the same, where they do the race. That was so in Terminator 2.
Yeah, true. Well, where is Rydell High supposed to take place? Apparently Los Angeles.
Okay.
Modelled after Venice High School and Excelsior High School.
Okay.
Yeah, both Grease and Grease 2.
They don't sound Californian.
No. But they also
You
don't
know
look...
who really
they
doesn't
also
sound
don't look
Californian?
18. Sandy.
Yeah.
So, Rizzo is a bitch.
She is a
Full
bitch.
stop.
That is correct.
One of the filthy lines... So like I said, the story just kind of trucks along. Stuff happens. Sandy instantly changes her mind about Danny after 3 words. Mm-hmm. Like, she totally, flips to the other side to completely hating him. And then falls in with the Pink Ladies, despite clearly Rizzo setting up that surprise.
Yeah,
Unless she's like, oh, well, Rizzo cares for me because she's showing the real side of Danny.
I think she's just not... She doesn't fully get initiated into the Pink Ladies.
Yep.
Because she's not with them all the time. She's just friends with Frenchie.
She has a cheerleader moment,
Yeah.
and then she's
she's
dating
friends
the
with
jock.
Patty Simcox. And
She's kind of friends with Patty Simcox.
Yeah.
Dates Danny for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just must, after the trauma of finding out that Danny is a typical 17, 18-year-old boy and not the romantic person that she thought he was, ends up at Marty's house for a sleepover.
Frenchie's house.
I think it's Marty's house.
And my parents will kill me if I get blood on the carpet.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep. Well remembered.
No, because I do remember going, oh, so it is her house. I thought it was Rizzo's house.
No, well...
It is
but
Frenchie's
it's got
house.
all the wigs. So it makes sense to be Frenchie's house. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My apologies. No matter how many times I've watched the movie, I don't know everything about it. The Rizzo's just like, you chicks are boring, I'm going to go and get laid.
Pretty much.
Then she says, what do you think this is, a gangbang?
Oh.
Like, oh my God, this is PG.
You wish.
This is PG.
Followed by a you wish.
Yeah. What I hadn't noticed before is that when Marty is writing her letters and Sandy is looking through all the photos of the Marines, quote, you're a one-woman USO,
Yeah.
Marty says she is hopelessly devoted to every single one of them.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before either.
Yeah, and then we get the song, Hopelessly Devoted to You, written for Olivia Newton-John, which I've probably stole from your notes.
That's all right. We'll get to that.
The ongoing rivalry is set up pretty well. We don't get any backstory to it. We just know that the T-Birds and the Scorpions hate each other. That's well done.
Well, yeah.
Then we get to Grease Lightning. Mm-hmm. And here's my evidence for the closet lesbian shop teacher.
Okay.
Right? She's just in the background of the shop.
Yep.
Then, after Danny sings, we'll be getting lots of tit.
Yeah.
She joins in. Because I'm like, what? Why is
The
she...
chicks are cream.
Why is she dancing? Because the
She
other
was
boys...
dancing the whole time.
The other boys in shop class aren't dancing.
They do when it's that weird fantasy
Weird,
bit
when they
with
have
the
this
cellophane.
little- You know what I love about the cellophane? That's weird and unnecessary. What all the boys wear shiny jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Do you know what they did to Danny? Bedazzled the ends of his sleeve. Just like, here, put 8 diamantes on there, and that will count for Danny. The shop teacher is odd, though, because she fully knows that they stole all the parts for the car.
She fully knows they stole all the parts of the car, and that race they do at the end is illegal.
Super illegal.
But she's there.
She's there cheering them on, along with a random crowd.
Yep.
Like, I noticed that this time that, there are the people that drive there with the crews to watch.
Yeah.
Then when the race starts, there's just 15 other people that appear from behind a concrete block. I don't know. Weird.
I did notice that because, we do look at extras. That there are extras as in, if it was a stage show cast, you're one of the chorus. That one that was worst extra there, she pops up later.
Oh, the guy in the green...
And then she pops up later. The guy
in the green polo at the end.
The guy in the green. And the girl with, I think in one of my notes later, referenced her as girl wearing neckerchief. She pops up a few times. Yeah.
Girl that thinks she's one of the Puerto Ricans from West Side Story. Kaniki can't dance.
Kaniki is Kaniki.
I actually think
Kanicki's having a conniption.
I have this vague thing in my head that in the original stage show, and maybe even in stage productions now, Greased Lightning is sung by Kanicki.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, well, he can't sing or dance, so we'll give it to John Travolta. He's also a bigger star at this point,
Yep.
and still, than the guy who played Kanicki that I can't remember the name of. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Kanicki can't dance, which is very odd.
Well, considering he played Danny Zuko on the show's run on Broadway, you'd kind of hope he could.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just weird dancing. It's not full he can do the splits.
That's true. He can't clap in time, though, when he's standing on top of the car.
Yep.
Right, so Greased Lightnings happens, and we get the goal of the boys, which is just to get laid. Then we get the group scene at the big Frosty Palace.
Yes.
We get to see that it's a Pepsi movie,
Yep.
because there's a big Pepsi Cola sign outside the Frosty Palace.
Yep.
And this is when I've got a worst extra nomination from this scene, which I'll come to later.
Right.
By now, Sandy is dating the jock,
Yeah, whose
And
name
Danny-
I can't remember.
Tom. Danny gets jealous
Yep.
and tries to talk to Sandy.
Yep.
And Sandy realizes that she actually still loves Danny.
Yep.
She's just going to date Tom for a little bit longer to make sure Danny is tortured.
Uh-huh.
Then he decides to be a jock. And that line that for some reason is in my head, lives in my head rent-free, as the internet says. Running. Long distance running. Cross-country running.
That's the one
Yeah,
that I
that's it.
remember. I don't know why.
What I remember from that, faster for your life. So he tries to be a jock, doesn't quite work because he trips over a hurdle, and that's when we see Danny go down to look after him. Tom's too dumb.
Danny.
Tom's too dumb to realise that Sandy's in love with Danny.
She even says that at one point.
Yeah,
doesn't she?
she's just like,
he's dumb.
He's dumb.
Yeah.
But he's pretty, and he isn't an asshole like you.
Yeah.
Which is high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. By now, also, Rizzo may or may not be pregnant or going through menopause.
Yes.
And a line I really wish they'd done a reshoot on. When she throws the milkshake and she says, "Sorry, French,"
Yeah.
she doesn't say it properly. She should say, "Sorry, French," not "Sorry, French."
Okay.
It's her emphasis is
She's
weird.
Get that pink boy. Sorry, Franks.
No, she goes, "Sorry, French."
Okay.
Watch it again.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sorry, Frank. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was weird, but I
She
do
doesn't
remember
go,
that.
"Sorry, French." She goes, "Sorry, French. Sorry, French." Can you hear the difference?
TikTok of us going, sorry, French. Custard. Custard. Sorry, French.
Sorry, French. Hear the difference? Do you want me to find it on YouTube?
I know. I understand.
All right. That's weird. I just wrote in my notes, "Sorry, French." At the school... then we get the teen angel,
Yep.
which is odd.
Which is very odd.
There's a couple of little fantasy moments in this musical which I feel like in a stage musical would have worked better than in a movie musical.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's weird, but because it's a fantasy that, Rizzo and Marty and Jan are dancing with the teen angel.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the boys float over at the end.
Marty's particularly weird in the beauty school dropout because it's like, she's like, I'm not interested. I don't care.
Is it weird that she's not trying to sleep with the teen angel?
Yeah, that
at
too.
the time.
And she's just like, I don't care. But then at certain points, it looks like she just doesn't remember the choreography. She's just like,
Yeah, they don't. They don't dance well in this number. All three of them.
No.
It's really odd.
Neither does some of the other ones. But anyway.
Something else that I wanted to mention about the movie, and I just looked up the director. For an iconic movie, I don't think people, like you said, can you name someone that hasn't seen Grease?
Yeah.
Could you name someone who knows the name of the director of Grease?
Yeah, Randy Kleisner.
Randall Kleiser,
Whatever.
right, is an American filmmaker, a film, television producer, director, a screenwriter, and actor.
This is his first movie.
Second, according to his first directing movie. He wrote Street People in 1976.
And everybody's heard of that one.
Yeah. I wanted to look him up because there's a few shots that I'm like, you've staged this like a stage show and then shot it from the wrong angle.
Yep.
So when in Grease Lightning, Kaneki flips on top of the car and starts kicking his legs up.
Yep.
Our first shot of that is from the side. And that looks really weird. But then you're like, what is going on here? Then when you switch to the front view,
Yes.
there's one of the other boys and Kaneki's legs are kicking up either side of him and his arms are going up in the front. And you're like, that works.
Yeah.
So there are
As weird as it is, that works.
Yeah. That couple of times things like that happened throughout the movie. But generally speaking, I think the dance numbers are pretty good.
Yes.
Except for I'm going to talk about the bandstand in a moment because we're up to about that time of the movie. Mm-hmm. Dancing extras are generally very good. Vince Fontaine, 100% creepo.
Oh, yeah. He slept with a teenage girl.
Yeah.
He's definitely done that in the past.
Yeah, and probably in this movie.
Yep. And how does he get it? By putting aspirin in their coke.
But also within that scene, something I forgot about, Blanche, the principal's assistant, dances with Tom, the jock. Yes. When I hear music, I just can't control my feet. Blame it on the boogie. That's going to be an excuse in court.
Impact. Oh. I'm blaming it on the boogie.
I blame it on the boogie. Done. It's fine.
Court dismissed.
So,
gavel.
Why would then Vince Fontaine also be like, have you met Marty? On the TV.
Everybody's like, yeah, we all know Marty.
Yeah, we all know Marty, and we also now know that you sleep with teenage girls.
Weird. I do like Marty.
Yeah, my favourite Pink Lady's Frenchie.
I think it's meant to be.
Yeah. I've never shot a TV show before, right?
Okay, yep, good.
But watching the dance-off this time, I'm like, there is no possible way this could look good on TV.
No, but it was the 50s. Nobody knew.
Because, actually, no one they had nothing to compare it to.
TVs were this big.
Yeah, but also they'd never seen a dance-off on TV before, like 2 years before this happened.
Yeah.
When TV was invented. It can't possibly look good.
Nope.
It's filmed in a school gym. There's kids everywhere. It's messy, and there's kids like in and out, running across and in and out. The dancing is super vulgar, even the ones that don't get disqualified for being vulgar.
Yeah. They tap out Craterface and Rizzo, and then they look like annoyed by it, even though she's like, well, we're not going to win.
Yeah.
Before. And then basically John Travolta sits on Cha-Cha.
No, but even before that, they kick out Craterface, but then Cha-Cha puts her foot on Kaneki's chest, and Kaneki is fully looking up her dress while she's waving it, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Weird. But then the dancing that isn't vulgar is just shit. Like, there are some terrible dancers at this school.
Yeah.
Kaneki looks like he's just run a marathon.
Kaneki looks like he's having a seizure.
He is sweaty as all get out and looks terrible. But John Travolta wins with Cha-Cha.
Yeah, with Cha-Cha. Because for some reason, Sonny comes over and takes away Olivia Newton-John, Sandy.
Does Sonny think Sandy's going to take Danny from them?
I don't know.
Is that a subplot that he's not developed?
It was weird to me.
It is weird.
It's almost like Cha-Cha went, hey, can you get her away from him? But then why are you doing what Cha-Cha says?
Well, because Sonny thinks Cha-Cha will then put out.
Yeah.
Probably...
She's the best dancer. She's the best dancer at St. Bernadette's with
Yeah,
the worst
the
reputation.
worst reputation. She might have flashed him a tit, and then he'll
Maybe.
do whatever she likes.
But they'll be getting lots of tit and Grease Lightning.
That's true.
And not Sunny. Kaniki and Danny, yes. Sunny, Putsy, and the other one.
Yeah, what is his name?
Duty?
Yes.
Yeah, best
Not.
extra.
The mooning scene is funny,
Yeah.
although the old lady from
Wonder who that is on the right.
I'm like 17.
Yeah.
And then, as a person who has been a teacher, the FBI have special ways of identifying you. I'm like, that is such teacher bullshit that kids 100% believe, especially those dumbasses.
Yeah.
And then I really noticed this time that while she's doing that announcement, they're working on the car, and then they all kind of pull their pants up or move their... One's trying to pull his T-shirt down, the other one's pulling his overalls up, so that they're... don't worry, boys. She's not looking at your asses.
Yeah, she's going to cha-chas.
Yep. Then I noticed as well that once the Grease Lightning car is ready, the teacher says if it was in any better condition, it would fly.
Yes, and then somebody says, it will. Like, well,
It will.
but then it's not Grease Lightning at the end. It's a different car.
That's the Scorpions car because they won the pink slips.
It was a red car.
Yeah,
It's a
Danny's
completely
car.
different car.
Danny has a car
Yes.
because he drives it to the drive-in and sneaks everyone in it.
Drive.
That scene's odd.
Yeah, with the dancing hot dogs.
Yeah, that's a really weird emotional song. Oh, Sandy,
Monday at school.
why, oh, why?
It's not even the worst part of singing he does in this movie.
My impression of... No. My impression of Danny singing Sandy is much better than John Travolta's impersonation of Elvis singing Grease Lightning. I didn't even mention Summer Nights.
Yeah, well, that'll be getting a lot of mentions later in my awards.
It's coming up shortly. I didn't write any notes about the race because it just happens.
It's just there.
It just happens and it's part of it, and no one notices just one random blonde girl sitting a little bit further up the thing.
He took her shoes off for some
Yeah,
reason.
except for Frenchie. You can't walk down that embankment in heels.
She didn't have heels on,
Didn't she?
She just
I
had
assumed
like
she had
runners.
little heely things.
No.
Yeah, so the race happens and a little bit clunky to get Danny in the car. Mm-hmm. But Putsy knocks out Kaniki.
Yeah.
Then they race.
Jeez. You could still drive.
No, he was like, oh, I'm seeing two of you.
Yeah, righto.
He is also very emotional about Rizzo at this point, which is why he hugs for like half a second Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Before they realise that it's not very manly. The race happens, and then all of a sudden they're like, yep, it's the end of the year.
The race happens. She goes, Frenchie, I'm not happy. Can you make me a completely different person so I am?
Is she? Yeah, we'll talk about that shortly. Danny Zuko led us in track somehow.
Yeah, because
And
he's
gets
good
to
at
the
running.
end of year carnival with a leather jacket on, and then that moment, she is
whatever the bloody music riff is.
she looks good in that outfit,
Yeah.
and with the big curly hair, and then the two of the four, half of the iconic songs from this musical come in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We go together and you're the one that I want.
Yeah.
Then there's Grease Lightning. Well, okay, 2/5. 40% of the iconic songs are the last two.
Yes. That is correct.
Quick maths. And then, you're the one that I want. And then we go together. A wop up, a loob up, a wop bam boom. They fly off into the sun. Overall, it's a very good story in terms of like teen angst and teen issues because, like I said, Frenchie is worried about the future. Rizzo covers off the teen pregnancy thing.
Yeah.
Danny and Sandy finding yourself and the relationship.
If
Marty
you wanna
wants
put
to
it that way.
Marty wants to grow up. Impulse control is a big one, which is a big teen kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Danny and Kaniki and Rizzo are just like, whatever. That condom that you bought 20 years ago in the 7th grade, Kaniki,
Yes.
has broken. What a surprise. Danny decides to dance with Cha-Cha just because it's looks fun at the time rather than go and chase Sandy. And then the boys are like, oh, when Danny says, what do? You can't keep following me forever.
You know,
The boys are like, oh, I have to think of something to do now. They go to summer school. They have to repeat.
Yeah.
They have to go to summer school, those
And
boys.
Eugene becomes a pitcher.
Eugene, even though he's a senior,
The
the coach would know who Eugene is.
coach would really know who Eugene is because it was announced who Eugene is at the thing that he's at.
But
Thanks
also,
for Paddy Simcox and Yulian Shalnevsky or whatever his name was.
but also like teachers know students that they don't teach.
Yeah.
Like the kid that is constantly bullied, all the teachers know that kid.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, because they go to the staff room and they're like, fucking, did you see what they did to Eugene today? Poor Eugene.
That was hilarious. Oh yeah, poor Eugene. Sorry.
Yeah. So one of us is a teacher, one of us isn't.
That's the story.
Why did they do a Charlie Chaplin impression during the dance at the end? The green polo shirt extra. He's
Yeah.
like,
It's a bit Charlie Chaplin, Groucho Marxy.
I don't get
something.
it. It was just weird to me.
Is it like do something funny and then all these theatre kids just like did stuff?
Yeah.
That's the story. Everyone knows it. But it has a little bit more layers than I think it's generally regarded as.
Yeah.
The good story of teen angst. It's not just cool songs, sex jokes, and Danny and Sandy.
Yep.
But that is why it is iconic for those three things.
And it has a fair bit of impact.
Impact.
I was thinking, right, if you had to have like, I've seen this phrase, a Mount Rushmore of movies that have had cultural impact.
Oh, like a top 5?
Like a top 5, but 4. You know, if you're making a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
I think this would be up there. Everybody knows it.
Okay.
It's been referenced in everything. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a show. It's had a sequel. It's had spin-offs. It was up the highest grossing musical when it was released at the time. So like I said earlier, $6 million budget made $366 million.
Wow.
So it was the highest grossing movie of 1978. The soundtrack entered 1978 as the second best-selling album in the United States.
What beat it? Do you know?
Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, big year for John.
And it was up there like as musical soundtracks.
Yeah.
And now it's 11th. Oh.
It's up there with, I don't know. 11th.
Bodyguard. Purple Rain.
The Greatest Showman.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
I'm not sure that's
Forrest Gump. Yeah.
movie soundtracks, not movie musical soundtracks.
Well, no, movie soundtracks.
Yeah, right.
You know, yeah.
Forrest Gump's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
that do 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 do? Is that
Yeah,
Forrest
the feather
Gump?
theme.
Yeah, the feather theme. Yeah.
Yeah, from the band book.
Yeah.
There was a sequel, Grease 2, which is apparently terrible.
Although apparently, according to TikTok, it made Michelle Pfeiffer a star.
Well, yeah, sure. Then they did a prequel TV series, Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies.
Yeah, recently on Amazon Prime. Oh, Paramount Plus.
Pretty sure that's been cancelled now. And they're working on a prequel film called Summer Lovin'.
Oh, they're cute dates at the beach.
Yeah.
I want to see them build that sandcastle. That was epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it basically was like, this Olivia Newton-John chick's all right, hey.
Yeah.
Like, nobody really knew her in the States. They might have known some of her songs, but this, like, next level famous. This made her.
Correct.
The song, Hopelessly Devoted to You. Okay. Was nominated for an Oscar.
Yes.
Best Original Song.
Original Song.
The film also received 5 Golden Globe nominations
Ooh.
for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy.
Yep.
John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. And two nominations for Best Original Song for Grease. And You're the One That I Want.
Oh, yeah, because You're the One That I Want is not in the stage originally.
I think the impact as well on this stage show, is now that those songs are in the stage show.
Yeah.
Like, you put Hopelessly Devoted. But
Well,
then it was like, that's the only reason they put it in there is because in like the agreement or contract or whatever, there's like Olivia has to have a solo song.
Olivia needs a single to release,
Yeah,
basically.
because otherwise she didn't have a solo song.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
It was like Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
It was also, like People's Choice Award.
Yes.
It won Best Overall Motion Picture, Favorite Musical Motion Picture.
Mm-hmm.
John Travolta was nominated for Favorite Male Musical Performer.
Okay.
ONJ won for Favorite Female Musical Performer, and Stockard Channing won for Favorite Motion Picture Supporting Actress.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
The people loved it.
The AFI has it on its list of 100 Years, 100 Passions, number 97.
Oh, just scraped in.
Yeah.
Kaniki and Rizzo, not that.
Oh, yeah. Crater Face and Cha Cha.
The Vince Fontaine and Marty.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's number 7. Summer Nights is number 70 of the 100 Years, 100 Songs.
Movie songs?
Yeah. Then I was thinking, you know how last week we did the top 5 songs that...
Yeah. We didn't put Grease in any of them?
I was listening to Hopelessly Devoted to You. I'm like, this is a good bloody song. She can bloody sing.
It's not iconic to the level of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
No. And then on the AFI's Greatest Musicals, it's number 20.
There are 19 better movie musicals than Grease.
There are. Name them. No. Some of them are like from the fucking 20s or whatever.
When movie musicals were real.
Yes. Yep. It's referenced in so many things. They do an episode of Grease on Glee. So that's how you know you've made it.
Yes.
The one that's referenced the most, I think, in a comedy way is the ending with
the flying
car.
Yep.
I didn't get it.
Well, yeah, it's one of the 3 weird fantasy moments that they have.
Yeah. Do you want to know who got a bargain?
Yeah.
The people who bought Olivia Newton-John's suit.
Oh, yeah? The leather.
She auctioned it off. In 2019, Dame, Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yeah,
I've
sorry.
had some people write that in their trivia things on whatever. Auctioned the leather jacket and pants she wore in the finale for $405,000.
That is a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To benefit, of course, cancer research.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else we got?
In the stage play, Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee had a reference to Sal Mineo.
Mm-hmm.
But they cut that out because he was murdered in 1976.
Oh, probably good idea.
Yeah. For the movie, the lyric was...
Oh, yes.
I think that bit was meant to be Sal Mineo. I'm pretty sure... It was weird, right? Sal Mineo, I wouldn't say is a sex symbol compared to Elvis. And then, ironically, the slumber party scene in the movie and the song was filmed on August 16th, 1977, the day Elvis died.
Ooh.
So they killed Elvis.
Yeah.
Your favourite bit?
Fan theories?
No. Alternate castings.
Oh, yeah.
Right? John Travolta was given the role after Henry Winkler turned it down. Why? Because he didn't want to be typecast. Then it's just like Fonzie the musical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, hey. And I can't imagine him doing that actually, either. He did. He does regret that. Before they hired Olivia Newton-John, they considered people such as Marie Osmond and Carrie Fisher.
Okay.
But they didn't know if Carrie Fisher could sing, so they didn't offer it. Why you wouldn't audition? I don't know. Because she might be able to sing. She's fucking Debbie Reynolds' daughter.
Yeah. Actually, yes, that makes a lot
There's
of sense.
a chance that she could sing. Maybe she can't. She turned it down to do Going Coconuts instead. Oh, that was Marie Osmond.
I was going to say, like, the late 70s, early 80s for Carrie Fisher was pretty busy
Yeah.
and pretty iconic.
Yeah. Imagine going Star Wars, Grease, Empire Strikes Back.
Well, like, yeah, Star Wars and playing Princess Leia, a very strong female character,
Yeah.
iconically strong female character, and then going, I have to change my whole person for a man, then going back to being Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Odd.
They eventually then chose Olivia Newton-John after the producer met her after chance encounter at a soiree hosted by Helen Reddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so well done, Helen. She's had an impact
Well, other than the song.
other than her career.
Yeah.
Lucy Arnaz, who's the daughter of
Desi Arnaz.
Ricky, like Lucy and Desi,
Yeah.
auditioned for Rizzo, but they went with Stockard Channing.
She would have been too young.
She might have been 32. It said at 33, Rizzo, Stockard Channing was cast. Kleiser made her and other actors playing students take a crow's feet test, in quotation marks, to see they could pass for younger close-ups. I don't know who reviewed those tapes, but they don't.
Stockhard failed. Sorry.
They were almost not going to have There Are Worse Things I Could Do in the movie.
Oh, okay.
But then Stockhard's like, no, I kind of need this moment.
Yeah, I kind of want a song. And her kind of teen pregnancy is kind of a big thing of the movie.
Yeah.
And her angst over it.
Yeah. Elvis was considered for the Teen Angel, but died before production.
Yep, correct.
Which then makes no sense. Well,
they don't film things in order.
Donny Osmond was then another Teen Angel before Frankie Avalon was cast.
It would have been Fat Elvis too.
Yeah, but it's still Elvis.
Yeah.
And so was Frankie Valli, was think for Teen Angel.
Yep.
He got the choice of either being Team Angel or singing the theme song. And he sang the theme song.
Correct choice.
Really?
His song is on the radio all the time. Gold play, for some reason, Grease a lot.
Yeah. So Kaniki was Danny Zuko on Broadway. And then, yeah, like we said, it is Kaniki's song. Grease Lightning is Kaniki's song in the stage show, but then they were like, but it's John Travolta. Get him to sing it.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. The other thing, while I was looking at, it's not Impact, but it's a weird bit of trivia.
Love it.
Would we say that it launched Olivia Newton-John? Sure, why not?
Movie-wise, yes.
Movie-wise, in America, yes. She was already fourth place in Eurovision at this stage.
But also, like, she wouldn't have done A Mum for Christmas if it wasn't for this movie.
Or Xanadu, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe go with that.
Well, for the joke, I was going with A Mum for Christmas.
You know in Glee as well, she has little cameos as herself in Glee.
Yes, when Sue Sylvester sings Physical.
She goes, hello? She goes, this is Olivia Newton-John, star of Grease, the highest, most successful movie musical of all time. She makes fun of herself. So it's funny. She goes, nice try. That accent is ridiculous, and hangs up on it. Anyway.
Yep.
Jeff Conaway, who plays Kaniki, was so infatuated with Dame Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, good.
He was tongue-tied whenever he was around.
Oh, that's cute.
He later married Olivia's sister. Is that not weird?
That is weird.
That is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So that's my last bit of impact.
Can I tell you a fan theory? Which you've probably heard of.
Is it
right?
Is it all a dream?
This, right, is an article from Screen Rant. Mm-hmm. Right? The most notorious Grease fan theory suggests that Olivia Newton-John's Sandy is in fact dying throughout the movie. And the infamous teenage love story is no more than a fantasy.
Oh, God.
So apparently, on the beach, she drowns. And then the rest of the movie is a fantasy, and her flying away in the car at the end is like, go towards the light.
Why do we need a fantasy of then having Frenchie have a fantasy in the fantasy?
Yeah.
And then why does she have a fantasy about a bunch of boys singing about a car?
That's going to get them laid.
And
Yeah.
why do we then have a fantasy about the girl she hates getting fake pregnant?
Yeah. That is the big thing that kind of pulls all this apart.
People have too much time on their hands.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Apparently-
is somebody trying to find a reason for the stupid car flying off into the sky at the end, because there is no reason. Although I did get a little bit teary when she turns around and waves. I'm like, oh, because she's actually dead. I was like, oh, Olivia.
The movie started out as a stage play,
Yeah.
and this article says the stage play had a far raunchier spirit than the
God.
eventual adaptation.
What were they doing?
Yeah, that was on stage sex or something.
Mm.
Before we go on to our awards,
Yep.
I put it out there on Facebook. I want to know if anyone I know has not seen Grease the movie.
Yeah.
Our two cousins' boyfriends have not.
I'm not surprised by one of them.
So Maddie says that's a crime, but then follows it up by saying that her boyfriend hasn't. So I'm just going to make sure that she fixes that. That's her responsibility. Shall we do some awards? Let us know on the socials if you haven't seen Grease the movie. You shouldn't have made it this far in the episode if you have.
Yeah.
Let's do some awards. I didn't tear up.
Cool.
Even though it's a happy ending, I knew it was coming, and I've seen this movie enough that it's worn out.
Yeah.
Right?
All
So the Ben Stiller from There's Something About Mary Most Cryingest Moment doesn't exist.
Good.
All right? Worst extra.
My worst extras.
Worst extra. I'm going to say first.
Yep. Two of mine are from Summer Nights.
Tom the Jock Boy.
I was thinking that, right? Because he doesn't have any lines.
I wrote early on, I'm like, Tom the Jock Boy, does he have a line? This is all
Don't
he
ask
says.
ChatGPT. They don't know who that is.
Yeah, this is all he says, right, in the movie.
Hi.
No, he mouths the hi, how are you, across the bonfire,
Yeah.
which is totally unsafe and would not happen in a school these days.
Yep.
He mouths the hi, how are you, but then this is the rest of his dialogue for the whole movie. Yeah. Yeah.
When? When they're eating in the diner?
When they're at the diner,
Yeah.
and she says, I want to put a song on, and he goes, yep. Then she goes, I need money,
Yeah. Do.
and he goes, yep. That's it.
Best or worst, are you saying?
Worst.
Okay.
Because even when you look at him, he just looks like a dumb idiot.
Well, I think he's meant to.
Yeah, I know.
I put, as I said earlier on, in Summer Nights, Girl in Neckerchief. So when Sandy's first singing, and I'm
Yep.
Sandy, right?
Yes.
And I'm singing to you.
Yep.
There's a girl that's like then behind, and she's just like,
Over the top.
well, I've
No.
just forgotten how Summer Nights go.
That's a theatre kid who's
Yes.
just like, thank fuck. Finally, someone has broken out in song at this school, and I'm in.
And then she came up again later at the bonfire and in the dance thing, you know.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like,
And at
you know,
the end.
so she might have redeemed herself. Then in Summer Nights as well, when then it gets slower
Yeah.
and Sandy starts walking off, there's just a random guy sitting by himself on one of the tables, just sitting there like,
No, he's a loser.
it almost looks like he's the cleaner that's just like, can these girls fuck off to class? I got to clean
Yeah, I
the
gotta clean
cafeteria that's outside.
It's in California.
Yeah. And I'm like, why is he there? All the boys are meant to be on the bleachers.
Yeah. Singing about, did you put off a fight?
Yeah.
Which I'll come to in a second.
Then in
Okay.
We Belong Together, I wrote.
Yeah.
They're all the main cast are like chang 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 chang
Yep.
shabab. And there's a guy that's a dancer who's like bent over, like talking to someone, and you can just kind of see his ass sticking into the screen. I'm like, and I'm like, mate, just like move over a bit.
Twerk that way a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, it was really weird.
I have a couple of more nominations for worst extra. You have been to high school, right?
I have, yeah. It's been a while, but I have been to a high school before.
If there were a group of boys causing a ruckus outside the school as you walked in, you might glance at them
Yes.
not
Yeah.
just walk straight past.
Yeah.
If that same group of boys, as you were headed to class in the hall, were kicking another student, you also might look at that as well.
Maybe.
No, none of those students react to anything that the T-Birds do.
Yeah.
Which I think is odd.
A part of me was like, are they meant to be cool?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, are the pink ladies and the T-Birds the ultimate cool people at the school? And I'm like, no, I think they just don't have any other friends and they just made themselves gangs.
They could have. Yeah. Or are they, like, out there, their own type of cool?
Yeah. They're cool, but they're not
Popular.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be cool, Sonny.
Another nomination for Worst Extra is when they are singing You're the One That I Want, You Are the One I Want,
Ooh, ooh, ooh. HORNY.
and they're in
The pug?
the up and down thing, the pug hand puppet.
Yeah.
They're in the mystery joint and it's up and down, right?
Yes.
There's one person in each window behind them.
Yeah.
One of them is oohing and ahhing. The other two are just watching.
I'm pretty sure one of them is also that guy in the green polo.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all three of them are meant to be oohing and ahhing, and only one is singing backing vocals. So the other two, I'm nominating them. And the jock boy, that they're my nominations.
Okay.
Is the guy in the green polo in the good or the bad category?
Well, I think it's good because he's given it heaps.
He is absolutely making the most of it.
But then I did skid girl in a neckerchief. I just did worse extra.
Jock boy.
Jock boy.
Because
Tom?
like it goes on to this other category that I'm still thinking about adding is least influential main character.
Yeah. Oh no, he is influential because then he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has a significant amount of screen time for 2 words.
Yeah.
Worst extra. The jock boy. I wrote, does he have an actual line? And then I wrote, he mumbles yeah to Sandy about the jukebox. That is the Estelle... No, that's the Andy Millman from Ricky Gervais's Extras. Worst Extra Award. The Estelle Reiner Best Extra Award. I'll have what she's having.
One extra that I always remember, even from when we watched it as a kid, when Sandy and Frenchie are walking into school, the girl behind them balancing a book on her head.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
There's one guy, I said no one reacts, and so this guy was borderline. When they're causing a ruckus with Eugene,
Yeah.
he fully overreacts to it. He's like, oh my God, what is going on here?
He's the new gay. He's the new kid. I
Yeah.
nearly said gay there.
Well, I camped that reaction up a little bit.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Yeah.
So I don't know, I think he's good because he's the only actual student who reacts like a student
But
would
it's
react.
bad because nobody else is doing it.
It's bad overreacting.
Yeah.
So he's a
wrote,
borderline.
Guy in green T-shirts on the bleachers during summer nights. So they're all like in their little huddle and it's like, did she put up a fight? And then off to like the side, it's just one guy in a green T-shirt and a leather jacket just like...
Oh, yes, him.
Wah.
Yeah, love him. Well.
That's how it goes. I can't remember. I couldn't believe that.
One of the most
remember
iconic songs from the most successful movie musical. Oh, well, who?
Yeah. And then he slowly like gets close to the group.
But he's trying to join in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
he's wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah.
To try to become a T-Bird. I want to know, speaking of extras, where they drew the line for joining in and not joining in. Because at the start of Summer Nights, there's a couple of tables that do join in with the girls.
Yeah.
But then there are some people just sitting in the background.
Yeah. And then by the end of it, nobody else is around except for that one weird guy that's sitting there.
Yeah, the cleaner. Who could be a student because
He could be 40.
both of them are 30.
Yeah.
So do we say good extra or not good extra? The ones that join in and the ones that don't join in?
Well, I think the ones that don't join in have been told to not join in.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
Another best extra nomination for me is Blanche.
Okay.
I don't know if she has enough. She probably just
probably a bit
borders
too
on
much.
having a number of lines.
Because one of my best extra nominations, but then I thought had too many lines, was the waitress.
Oh, I wonder who the one is on the right.
Yeah, and it's all like, she's like, oh, your hair looks like an Easter egg.
And you're too young to think about being a waitress. So in the 50s, only old ladies were waitresses?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's odd.
Then I had Teen Angel.
He gets a whole song.
He has one scene.
What about Johnny
It's
Casino?
a cameo, not an extra. Well, he's terrible.
There's
so
a
he's not best extra if he's
There's
an
a
extra.
member of Johnny Casino's, or one of the gamblers, who is a beat behind everything and finishes the song 2 beats late. Like the song finishes, do-do-do, and then it cuts to the band, and then the guy goes, jazz hands.
I'm pretty
Like, you're late, mate.
sure as well that Johnny Casino isn't singing when he should be singing.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So is Johnny Casino a nomination for worst extra?
Nah, because that's just bad editing.
Okay.
Then I wrote the last guy with his tie undone.
Well,
After
we can't
the-
have that winning because guy with his tie undone. I'm not searching YouTube to
I know
take
when
that
it is.
into a TikTok.
I know when it is.
Okay.
It's in the hand jive
Yes.
dance contest, and after Sandy like walks out, she walks past this guy,
Yeah.
and then it cuts back to him, and he's just like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, why? Why do we? He's a no one.
There's a guy from the hand jive as well who is hand jiving in about 1/3 time. No, slow. Like if you're watching on the YouTube, born to hand jive, but not in time. Not in half time.
Oh yeah.
Like in some odd
I just
out of time.
love that at one point in history, this was the coolest thing you could do. The hand
hand
jive at a
jive.
school dance.
Yep.
And then go watch The Blob at a drive-in.
Oh, yeah.
And then get your dick hit by a car door.
Well, yeah, we'd assume. And then
You're
sing.
a fake and a phony, and I wish I'd lemonade lies on you.
Oh, no, Danny.
Oh, no, Danny Zuko.
So who wins best extra?
You know what? I don't bloody know.
Can we just give it to Blanche so that I can put on TikTok her scene of when the coach is like, we're going to rip him up to pieces.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
All right? The principal's assistant.
Fine.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's too many lines. Anyway, whatever. We're done. It's our podcast. We can do what we like with it. The Halle Berry X-Men worst line. I have 2 nominations that are closely related.
Yeah.
Did she put up a fight? Doobie-doo-doo. No.
Well, Sonny's a freak.
That wasn't Sunny.
Sonny
That
was
was
a
the
duty.
blondie, wasn't it?
It was a putsy.
Putsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putsy,
Sonny-
the one that kind of looks like he could be a teenager.
Well, he was like 22 or something.
Oh, there you go.
So he could be.
Yeah.
Sonny's the one that says, could she get me a friend?
Yeah.
And they're like,
And
"Oh,
they
you
hit
fucking
him
idiot."
in a boing.
Yeah. So it's an idiot to ask for a friend, but it's not
It's
an
fine to
idiot
say if you raped her.
put up a fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
The other nomination is also closely related, and it is, I saw Vince Fontaine try to put aspirin in my Coke at the dance.
Yeah, I wrote that as well.
Marty.
I wrote, okay, I'm going to say the line during Sandra D, and I want to get your thoughts on what the line means.
Yep.
The underlying subtext.
Yep.
Even Rock Hudson lost his heart to Doris Day. Is that because he's a gay?
Well, I think the joke is that he's a gay, but like in the 50s, he wasn't,
Yes. Well,
right? Well, no,
Yeah.
to Rizzo.
but what I want to look up now, which I maybe should have done before,
Even
This-
Rock Hudson lost. Oh,
this-
I didn't even know that was the line. I thought the
this
line
movie,
was even Rock Hudson lost, full stop.
his heart to
No,
Doris.
I thought it's like, it's hard for Doris Day was the second line of that. But you're probably right.
It's even Rock Hudson lost his heart to Doris Day.
Day.
What I want to know then is, this is what I was trying to look up before. Oh, stop doing that, IMDb. Fuck. Oh, sorry. Rock Hudson and Doris Day made a number of movies together
Yep.
in various forms. I believe the first of which was Pillow Talk, which, or maybe that's just the best one rather than the first one, which was in 1959.
Oh.
And this movie's set in 1958.
Okay, so it's a 70s joke about a 50s thing.
Yeah, that's what I was...
That was
anyway.
timed wrong. Maybe the joke is pretty blonde girls are so good that even Rock Hudson, as the internet says, ding, lost his heart to Doris Day, the nice blonde girl like Sandra Dee.
Yeah, okay. I also wrote, I hope I don't get camera fright. Sandy says that at the dance. That's not a thing.
No.
Vince Fontaine. Hey,
Yeah.
do you folks know I come into your room every night?
Yeah. But then also is it Marty saying maraschino like the cherry?
No, that's funny. And then I wrote, I caught Vince Fontaine trying to put aspirin in my Coke.
Yep.
And I wrote, after the race, Frenchie goes over to Sandy. Aren't you happy Danny won?
And she says Danny won, like she
Danny
couldn't
won.
see it.
Aren't you happy?
Yep.
No, I'm not, but I think I know how I could be, changing my appearance and everything about me.
So that's not worst line, that's worst plot point.
Okay. New category, worst plot point. Rizzo gets pregnant and she's clearly too old.
So which is it's down to two, right? Which is worst, teen on teen non-consent or adult to teen non-consent?
Adult to teen. But I also think, okay, I don't know the science of aspirin in Coca-Cola.
I think the joke is that it's not aspirin.
Oh, of course it is, Brett. Fucking hell. I think I'm also nominating myself for worst interpretation of lines in a movie.
Missed joke.
I think the... Oh,
saw him trying to put aspirin in my Coke at the dance. Worse.
Yeah. Does it make it worse? Or does
trying
it
to
make
root
it
for you.
better?
Trying to root
I
for you.
think it's I caught Vince Fontaine trying to put aspirin in my Coke at the dance.
Yeah.
Only because it's clearly a Pepsi movie as well, as they've highlighted.
That's
before.
true. That's true. Is PG actually like a slang for pregnant?
Yeah, PG. Yeah. Rizzo's
Okay.
PG, pass it on.
This is PG.
She's got a bun in the oven.
She's got a bun in the oven.
Also, if you want to keep it a secret, don't announce it in the toilets where all the women are.
Yeah.
I'm a faulty typewriter, which is a funny way
That's
of
a
saying
great-
it.
that's a
I
great
missed
one.
a period.
It's a great one. All right. So that's the Halle Berry X-Men worst line. The I'm Your Father most iconic scene. I've got 5.
I've got 5.
3 of them are songs.
3 of them are songs.
Summer Nights, Grease Lightning, You're the One That I Want.
Summer Nights, Grease Lightning, Hand Jive.
Oh, okay, right, yep.
I wrote specifically, though, not You're the One That I Want, but Tell Me About It, Stud.
I said, when Sandy comes up changed, which is not the best way to write that sentence.
Yeah.
But that's the moment I'm trying to describe.
And in Grease Lightning, I wrote, but mainly the chorus with the arm movements.
The dance move, yeah, that even the teacher joins in on. It's so iconic.
Yeah. So yeah, Summer Nights, the whole thing, but mainly when they like superimpose her head floating in the sky. Maybe mainly that bit. Hand Jive, the whole thing really.
Now can you hand jive, baby?
More the
car
they go,
chase?
Tell me about it. Nah.
Does the car chase
it's a
doesn't
good
make
scene,
the
but
shortlist?
it doesn't make my top 5 most iconic
Not iconic,
scenes.
that's true.
Tell me about it, stud.
All right, I'm going to change when she comes up changed to Tell Me About It, Stud.
And the 5th one I wrote.
When she looks back as waves as they fly away.
I wrote just generally the car floating off into space for some reason.
Yeah.
But that her turning around going, bye.
In terms of most iconic Olivia Newton-John, like when she did pass Valet, that was on Facebook a lot.
Uh-huh.
So what are we doing? Tell me about it, stud.
Tell me about it, stud.
Yep. When Sandy comes up changed.
When Sandy comes up changed.
That's and then the when I'm your father most
I love
iconic
that
scene.
she's like, cool. And then she's like, what do I do? And Marty's like,
yeah, she knows.
Marty knows how to get a guy. She's a one-woman ISO.
USO.
Oh my God. If anybody from work is listening, they know that ISO is an international bloody fucking like audit thing we have to get for work. And I've just been talking about it too much. Oh.
It's something else. Yeah, it's like the standards of something. ISO numbering. Yeah.
Yeah. 9,000, it's 2,701.
It's also in photography. The light sensitivity on an image medium is denoted by an ISO number.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, of course, because you're a photographer.
I'm a photographer.
We can tell from our social media feeds.
And jive, baby.
Because we're reviewing Grease, we are going to do a top 5 that we have debated.
Okay, this was so hard.
So hard. We are doing the top 5 singers that have had considerable roles in movies.
Can I? Yes. So we were like, I said top 5 singer actors, and I was like singers that then went into acting.
Yes, but I felt like that was broad.
Yeah.
And could also have included actors who sing.
Yes.
So what we've
Jared
decided
Leto.
on, what we've decided on is singers who are singers and who were singers, who then did an acting.
So say they wait, I might just have to look up someone.
No, they have to kind of have started and established as a singer, and then done not a huge number of movies, and are still regarded as a singer.
I might have to change my top.
Okay.
I might have to change my top 2.
Really?
Well, because I think I've gone singers, ranking it on their singing ability.
Yes, we're ranking it, and that's the other thing. We're ranking on their singing ability, not the quality of their acting or the movie
I've
they
got
were
the
in.
singing ability.
Yep.
I've ranked it on that, and they're a singer-actor. But I believe this person got their start as an singing in a movie. They weren't a singer, then went into movies.
That's why I have not included a couple of people.
Okay, so I will have to quickly just change my... but then does that one count?
So your top one, Kylie Minogue, can't be there.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Kylie. I'm just going to have to move Danny Minogue.
So this was hard.
Okay.
I have a top 20.
Oh, God. I don't even know if my top... Now my third. Oh, God. I should have done a lot more research.
Well, I don't think I have to check any of mine.
As if that's what her top known in IMDb is.
No, my top 5 are what they are.
Okay.
Yep. So shall we do 5, 4, 3, 2 honourable mentions? The rest of my top 20, 1.
Yeah, let me just okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, by singing ability? Oh, fucking
By
hell.
singing ability.
Well, Jesus. Then she's a better singer than her. All Mine Are Women. Just out of the gate. All Mine Are Women.
One of mine is a man. And then I
Okay.
have 1, 2, 3.
My list is terrible.
I have 3 in the rest of my 20.
My list is terrible.
Do you want to do it again? Do you want some time?
No. I'm
Make
just
another
going to do
cocktail
it
and we can have
because
time.
I could have 2 more hours of this and
Yeah.
it's still going to be terrible.
All right, my number 5 is Mariah Carey. Glitter is a terrible movie, but she's a great singer.
She's done 1 movie. She's done 2 movies.
Yeah. Top 5 singers that have had considerable roles in movies. They have to still
Okay.
be singers.
Okay.
Does you thinking the number of movies count?
No, I'm just thinking more they then had an acting career. Okay, so my number 5 is Mariah Carey.
No.
No, I'm not changing it.
This
I'm not
is what we
changing it.
talked about
Okay,
yesterday.
I know.
Not became an actor,
Yeah.
are still a singer.
Okay, what if they're dead? Um,
Okay, well, my number 4's out, and number 3, and number 1.
we have different lists. My number 5 is Cher.
Yep. Okay, she's my number 6.
I almost because she's not the best singer. The 4 other people on my list are considerably better singers than Cher.
Cher is a great singer, but she's I will allow it to be number 5 because she has won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So I'll allow it.
God, this is tough.
My number 4,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah. Okay.
He was in The Wiz
Oh.
and is a
Yeah.
very good singer.
Yeah.
Have we fucked these rules again?
No, I just didn't think of him as an actor.
Well, we're not meant to think of him
I
as
know,
an actor.
but you know what I mean. I forgot that The Wiz existed.
Singers who have
So
been
is
in
Diana Ross
movies.
on your list as well?
She's number 16.
Ranked it in full 20. All right. Well, my number 4 is Lady Gaga.
Okay, she's my number 7.
God.
My number 3, Tina Turner. Beyond Thunderdome. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Is that a significant role?
All right, then.
I'm going to leave it because the rest of mine are terrible. So, okay, they're not terrible. My number 1, I don't know if it actually applies. But anyway, what did you say, Tina Turner?
Tina Turner is number 3. If it's not allowed, I'll move Tina down and I'll put Cher into number 5 and bump the other 2 up.
My number 3
Yep.
is Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, she...
Based on singing ability.
Based on singing ability, yeah, I have to move her then.
I've forgotten one.
Based on singing ability...
Oh my God, I have to change I'm changing my number 1 because I'm pretty sure my number 1 doesn't count.
Okay, all right. Do we need a pause then?
Nah, go.
All right. I just have to move J Hud in my bottom 20.
Bottom 20?
Well, the rest of my top 20. All right. Then my number 2 is Beyonce.
Wow, okay.
Okay?
She's not in my top 5.
Wow.
Based on singing ability.
She's a very good singer.
She's not as good of a singer as... Well, she's better than Cher.
Do you reckon she's not as good a singer as Lady Gaga?
I think Lady Gaga's a better singer than Beyonce.
We've seen Beyonce live. She's very good.
I've seen Lady Gaga live too. She's very good.
Okay.
Beyonce's a better performer.
Okay. Gaga's a pretty good performer, though.
Yeah, I know. My number 2 is... This will come as a shock to no one. Is Bette Midler.
Is that the one you thought you had to change because she actually started in a movie musical?
No. The one I'll when I have honorable mentions, I'll
Because
name the ones I think I had to change.
Didn't include Bette because I think of Bette as a singer-actress, not as a singer.
I believe she was a singer first.
I've definitely lent more towards they are still known primarily as a singer.
Yeah, okay. Which Bette Midler is? I suppose it depends who you ask.
If you ask a lot of people, they'll be like,
She's
oh
a
yeah,
Hocus Pocus.
Beaches.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh yeah, the name of an album.
All right. Do we get to these honourable mentions?
Do you want my 6 to 20 or do you want my honourable mentions? One of my honourable mentions I won't mention because I already made a joke about Kylie Minogue.
Street Fighter doesn't count.
As a movie?
Well, she started as an actor.
Yeah, that's the joke I made.
Oh, okay, sorry. Holly Valance has to come off my list.
Natalie Imbruglia. Delta Goodrum.
Nat Bass. Soz Nat Bass.
Not movies. Any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Prison Break is not a movie, Holly Valance. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Mark Wahlberg was mentioned in a couple of lists that I looked up
Oh, okay.
as Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch to Boogie
Okay,
Nights.
let's do your 6 to 20.
All right.
Just quick.
My other honourable mentions were Queen Latifah.
Yeah, I had her,
'Cause
but
I-
I crossed her off.
I know
because of
her
singing
equally.
ability. Yep.
And the few of the lists I looked up had a lot of rappers on them.
Yep.
And I'm like, Diddy, in whatever Diddy was in, no.
Ludacris.
But Eminem in 8 Mile,
Yeah.
like, iconic movie, iconic rapper,
Yeah.
has some
But
singing
that's
in
all
his
he's done.
songs. But
So
yeah.
he just a movie about himself. That's like saying Prince is an actor.
Yeah, but we're not picking actors. We're picking
No,
singers that
but
have
I'm
been
saying
in
having
movies.
this. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, my 6 to 20. From 20,
Okay.
Justin Timberlake.
Yep.
Good singer, Social Network.
Yep.
Lauren Hill, Sister Act 2.
Was an actor first. Yep.
Madonna, A League of Their Own.
Yep.
J-Lo,
Yep.
David Bowie.
Are you saying J-Lo's a better singer than Madonna
Yep.
and Justin Timberlake?
Yep.
Okay.
David Bowie.
Yeah, yeah.
Jennifer Hudson,
Yeah,
Diana Ross,
yeah.
Dolly Parton,
Okay.
ONJ,
Oh, okay.
Barbara Streisand,
Yep,
Meatloaf,
yep,
Christina Aguilera,
yep,
Rihanna,
yep.
Lady Gaga,
Okay,
Cher.
okay.
Okay?
You have a lot better ones than me. So these are the ones that I had on my list.
Yep.
Then I took off because I wasn't sure if they qualify as being a singer before then going into movies.
Okay.
Barbara Streisand was my number one,
Yep.
but I think she was a stage actress, singer
Okay.
musicals.
Yep.
So she wasn't a singer, then an actor. She was a singing actor.
I feel like she is known now as a singer.
Yeah, well, I think it's because of that Bryan Adams duet, really.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
That's a great song.
It is a good
It's
song.
not, but it is.
So love song dedications. The other one that was my number two before I changed it. Oh, no, Barbara was my number two.
Yep.
No, was she? Anyway, Barbara was my number three. My number two before I changed it was Julie Andrews for the same reasoning.
Yes.
Then my number one before I changed it,
Yep.
but I was like, no, I'm pretty sure she got her start in a movie musical, was Judy Garland.
Yeah. Well, I looked up a list, and the list is like, yeah, these are people that were singers and known primarily as singers before they got their start. And this is on Billboard. Yeah, so this says it's ranked by the artist had to be well known for music before they were well known for film acting. Apologies to Jamie Foxx and Lindsay Lohan. The artist couldn't be starring as themselves in the performance, even if a somewhat fictionalized rendering.
Okay.
So like
8 Mile.
Alice Cooper, Spice Girls, The Beatles.
Yeah.
Only one performance per musician actor, which doesn't make sense because they've mentioned a number of people with more than one, like J-Lo.
Or are they saying they only have had one performance?
No, but like J-Lo is on the list, and J-Lo's been in like 3 movies.
Yeah, okay.
And like Gaga's been in more than...
in a lot more than 3, but yeah.
Gaga's been in, more than 1 movie.
Yeah.
And on that list, they had Judy Garland. But then in their write-up of Judy Garland, were like, got her break as an 18-year-old in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's why I changed it.
Yeah.
Have I said I haven't. So my other honorable mentions, so I said Babs, Madonna, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Olivia Newton-John, Doris Day.
Okay.
Because then Doris Day was one I wasn't sure about as well.
I feel like then we both have the same number 1.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even Shane, all week this week, like Shane and I have been driving around, I've just been like, do a top 5 this.
Yeah.
And we just did it. And then I said, all right, our top 5 this week is singers that have had considerable roles in movies but are still singers. And he goes, well, it's Whitney. And it is.
Yeah, I would like to, because I know how our fans get.
Yeah.
Beyonce fans, if you're listening, I am one of you. I'm one of your kind.
Yep.
I apologise.
I thought you were going to apologise to the Swifties because we didn't mention
Oh,
that
fuck off.
New Year's Day movie where she met and started dating Taylor Lautner, or she was a voice in the recent adaptation of The Lorax.
Her new relationship with football player.
Yep.
He is in that to get famous.
Yeah.
100%.
But this is how, like...
Was he going to be hosting SNL before he started dating Taylor Swift? I don't think so.
No. Was his brother going to be nominated as one of the sexiest men alive before he dated Taylor Swift? No. The interesting thing, and it's shown some stupid men saying that Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce to become famous.
Taylor Swift is pretty much the most famous person in the world at the moment.
No, but like...
And I hate her, so that means a lot coming from
a lot of the responses were like, this chick sells out stadiums 300 nights of the year. Travis Kelce needs 20 other blokes to sell out a stadium for 2 months of the year.
God, people are dumb.
And then I saw a meme today that was like, if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have a son, he's going to have the same issues as Troy Bolton in High School Musical. Sport or singing. Unless he's like Carrie Fisher.
Unless
he's like Carrie Fisher and can't sing.
Yeah, maybe.
Allegedly.
Anyway.
She certainly can't sing.
Out.
She can't sing now.
What an ordeal that list was.
All right.
I still want to change mine, but anyway.
Jump into our Facebook group or find us on the socials if you want to let us know where we were wrong, because Brett certainly was. Also,
I regret everything I've done.
People are going to be like, you can't put Meatloaf above whoever. Meatloaf, if you take out the 2011 AFL Grand Final,
he's a great singer.
He's a great singer. And if you also watch classic albums, The Making of the Bat Out of Hell, he will tell you he's an awesome singer.
And he has an iconic scene when he was on Celebrity Apprentice. He lost his shit at Gary Busey. It was very entertaining.
And he was in Rocky Horror and very good. And mainly, I was thinking singers who act more like Fight Club than Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
For Meatloaf. All right. Is that it for our top 5 singers that have considerable
top 87
roles in movies?
How am I meant to explain that to people?
We'll put the full list on the website at some point so people can find it. All right. That's our top 5.
Oh, God.
What are we doing next week for To Drink Cinema?
That's a good question.
Let's have a look. Oh, that's the wrong spreadsheet.
That's great. What on that spreadsheet, what were we doing?
2 out of 3 recommend.
Hocus pocus.
Is what we were doing.
Right.
All right.
Are we up to December?
We are up to December.
Oh, my God.
It's such do we know what day it is? No. And through the month of December, I'm not going to know what day it is other than the 20th when I finish work.
I'm going to know all the days.
Good. Well done, you.
Except the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. That 4-day period is a blur.
I'm going to know the 20th when I finish work, the 25th when I have to be somewhere for lunch, and then the 8th when I fly overseas. This one I haven't seen, and it's going to be a hard watch for you. Elf.
Oh, Elf. Okay.
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Maybe then I'll understand the memes.
Can we do a 6 degrees from Grease to Elf? This shouldn't be hard, right?
You'd think Will Ferrell's done a lot of movies.
Will Ferrell's done a lot of movies, and he's
John Travolta.
Been in with a lot of people. John Travolta, Christopher Walken, Will Ferrell. That can be a thing, surely. John Travolta
played... You know, at the end of Goldmember? Or the start and the end of Goldmember, where it's like the movie of Goldmember.
Yep.
John Travolta plays Goldmember.
Yes.
So John Travolta plays John Travolta plays John Travolta as Goldmember in Goldmember.
Yep.
Which stars Mike Myers.
Yes.
Who is in Austin Powers.
And
so is Will Ferrell.
All right.
I'm very badly burnt.
Is he... Oh, he's only in the first one. He's not in Goldmember.
I think he's just in the first 2.
And then he gets
And then he
set on
became
fire.
famous.
Yeah.
So he didn't do it. Done.
All right.
There's probably another way.
Within one franchise.
Yeah.
John Travolta to Mike Myers to Will Ferrell.
Annoying that it had to be like different movies in a franchise, that he wasn't just in the third one.
Yeah. He doesn't have a cameo in the third one?
I don't think so. Not that I can remember. And I've watched the third one the most.
Because it's got Beyonce in it.
Yeah.
Even though she's not that...
Shut up!
Thanks for listening to another episode of To Drink Cinema. We are getting into Christmas and we are watching Elf. There's a couple of movies that I can watch just to see at the end of the work year.
Yeah.
And just put that on and not have to worry about anything. So Elf for next week, which will be released on the 1st of December.
Ooh.
Not to piss anyone off that we're going early with the Christmas.
Just
all right?
calm your farm. Everyone.
Calm your farm. All right. So we got 4 movies left of this year. Then we're going to have a little break and get into 2024. But watch Elf for next week of To Drink Cinema. Subscribe, tell a friend, join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Lee. Cheers. Thanks for listening to 2 Drink Cinema. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcasts, either leave a tip or become a member for early access to these episodes by using the link in the show notes.
Join the Facebook group for more chat about the movies we review, and make sure you follow us on the socials to keep up to date.
Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review on your podcast app.
Happy viewing and drink responsibly.